Okay, welcome in Friday afternoon. The move is official. The 49ers have activated Javon Kinlaw from injured reserve. So 100% sure he will play against Washington tomorrow at 1:05 p.m. Obviously, this is needed right now because the 49ers are missing a couple of their top defensive tackles in Hassan Ridgeway and Kevin Givens. Washington is going to counter with an extremely physical rushing attack featuring Brian Robinson Jr. and Antonio Gibson. And the 49ers are trying to make history tomorrow. The 49ers right now have gone 7 straight games allowing 70 or fewer rushing yards. That matches the 2000 Baltimore Ravens, one of the most legendary defenses of all time, for the fewest games in a row allowing 70 or fewer rushing yards. If the 49ers are able to hold Washington under 70 rushing yards, a tall task against a bruising rushing attack featuring a couple 220-plus pound running backs, well, the 49ers will make NFL history and become the first team to do so in 8 straight games. So something on the line, some history on the line. And Javon Kinlaw, obviously, is a player the 49ers asked to clog up the middle with his massive frame. We'll get to see him again after a 12-week absence against Washington. The corresponding move was for the 49ers to release Curtis Robinson, linebacker, special teams contributor for this team, because in moving Javon Kinlaw back to the 53-man roster from IR, the 49ers needed to make room, and Robinson ended up being the victim of that. He is now not on the roster. Robinson, he ties in through this. The 49ers used a return from IR designation on Curtis Robinson earlier this year, and they probably might regret that right now because you only have 8 of these return from IR designations, and the 49ers have now used 7 of them. They used the first one on Jimmy Ward, and you see here they used one on Curtis Robinson. They've used one on Azeez Al-Shire, Elijah Mitchell, Colton McKivitz, Jordan Willis, and now the 7th return from IR designation has been used on Javon Kinlaw. So there's only one left. And I asked Kyle Shanahan yesterday if Elijah Mitchell's recovery is proceeding along the scheduled plan, because Mitchell has been hurt twice with the same injury. They already used one return from IR designation. The 49ers currently plan to use their second one on Elijah Mitchell, and then they would not be able to bring anyone else off IR moving forward. Yes, that includes Trey Lance. That also includes Hassan Ridgeway, who recently was put on IR. So the 49ers essentially picked Kevin Givens over Hassan Ridgeway by not putting Givens on IR, but putting Ridgeway there, because with Kinlaw's activation, the 49ers only have one spot left. And, Curtis Robinson released today. 49ers probably wish they wouldn't have used one of those spots on Curtis Robinson earlier in this season. Robinson, I think it was a knee issue. I can't remember exactly what it was for Curtis Robinson, but he's only been a special teams contributor for this team. And you have to be really careful with those return designations because you only have 8 of them. That wasn't the case here in the past 2 seasons, but they amended the rules now with a lot of that, COVID roster crunch stuff in the rear view mirror. The 49ers also made a couple elevations from the practice squad. These are temporary elevations, but we're going to see a player make his 49ers debut, and that's defensive tackle Michael Dwumfor, who the 49ers put on the practice squad just a few weeks ago. Dwumfor has played 10 career games for Houston. He's got 3 or 4 quarterback hits. And, I've talked about the need to beef up that defensive tackle depth, especially against the caliber of opponent that the 49ers have on Saturday, a heavy rushing team in Washington. Dwumfor is going to be there to do that because Javon Kinlaw might be on a pitch count in this game. We'll take a look at the 49ers depth chart here so you can get a visualization of how they're going to play this. Willie Snead IV is the other elevation, temporary, for this game from the practice squad. Snead, that's a regular occurrence here. They're using him for special teams. And obviously, with Deebo Samuel still out for this game, 49ers might want some more receiving depth just in case they run into that issue. But anyway, look at the whole roster here. You've got Javon Kinlaw at defensive tackle. I've selected him right here. You could see where I'm playing with the mouse down here. Kinlaw has moved back up into a starting role. Kevin Givens is not on IR, but he's hurt, so we shade him in pink. And Michael Dwumfor over here has been activated, elevated, whatever you want to call it, from the practice squad for this game to beef up that interior with Kevin Givens currently hurt. And, I should probably put Kerry Hyder in pink as well, because Kerry Hyder is questionable on the injury report with an ankle injury. So you see this defensive tackle situation here, 2 players shaded in pink. That's why you call up the practice squatter to give yourself some extra depth. But Kinlaw is back, and he'll be starting there next to Eric Armstead along the 49ers starting line. Now, also, you see a couple injury issues. Danny Gray is going to be okay, but Deebo Samuel still not ready to come back. Willie Snead activated from the practice squad. So there you have it. And, I put it up on Twitter a little bit earlier. You saw it on the screen. 7 of 8 IR designations used up for the 49ers. They're touchdown favorites against Washington tomorrow. All right. This has been the update. Kinlaw's back for sure. It's all signed, sealed, and delivered. And the prediction is coming soon. Be sure to check out the preview. The preview video, Will the 49ers Beat the Commanders, is already up. And I'm having my prediction from a surprise spot in San Francisco out a little bit later this afternoon. Everybody take care. Thank you.